Welcome everyone, we're live! And not on time, even though Andy2D6 despises people who start late. Or as he just come into the chat. You know what, Andy? I don't even care. I don't even care. You're here because you love us. So just be quiet. So anyways, we're here. Wargamers Hangout, number 10. So we're going to talk about maybe some role-playing games. Have some fun. We've been experimenting a little bit with... Here we have as a guest, Mario. Hey, who doesn't have that muted? Oh, that was me. All right. Oh, I feel a little discombobulated for some reason, but we're good. We're going fine. Yeah, I'm gonna stop talking. Miranda's here too.
Are we introducing yourselves?
Yeah.
What's going on? Sorry. So I've been sick all weekend. I have no idea what's going on. Yes, I have Wargamer Girl, my channel. I post videos sometimes. I have a Malifaux battle tonight on Vassal, so I might be building my list while I am part of this.
Is it your week 5 battle?
Mm-hmm.
Who are you going against, Richard?
Mm-hmm.
He's playing Rezer, so good luck. Kill faster.
Oh.
Just ignore his army and kill the Rezer, and you'll be fine.
Yeah, kill the summoner. If he's using Molly, ignore Molly, because there's no way you can kill her.
Really?
Yes. Assassinate on Molly is really, really hard. But hi, I'm Mario. I have a channel, Voices of Mars. I post videos sometimes too.
All right. So, we're all very excited to be here, I can see. Let's see here. So, what have I been doing since the last Wargamers Hangout? Let's see.
Last one was John.
Yes.
So a lot of rambling on about tournament scene.
I love John. He's hilarious.
He's cool.
I've actually been getting to play a few more games of War Machine. I've been getting back into it a little more, so that's good. I went down hiking in some mountains. It was great, but I had to miss a tournament. It was either tournament or mountains, and I was like, the cold weather in Canada comes quick and it lasts a very long time, so I have to take advantage of the good weather. So I went to the mountains instead. My apologies, but they had a send-off because the World Championship WTC is happening this upcoming weekend, and so a bunch of my buddies are over in Poland. So cheer on Team Canada to win the War Machine World Tournament.
Wow.
It's pretty cool. I'm pretty excited for them. They're like posting like photos of their like hotel rooms and stuff. The one hotel room in Poland is like their bathroom is like a glass bathroom with like some like decals on it, and so you can see right into it. But there's a curtain, but the curtain's on the outside. Like, so you can draw a curtain around it, but it's on the outside. So if you wanted to bring back that curtain and give them a pressed ham, because I mean that's what I know. I would do that, but that's just me, I guess. Anyways, so super excited for them, and I forget who's gonna try to. I'll figure that out. Maybe post something in the comment or the video description below after the show. I know I only do it half the time when I say I'm going to do it, but some people are going to try to cover it live, so you can watch a very competitive play. And the team play is you don't bring 2 lists like a normal tournament. You bring 2 lists to eliminate certain matchups, and you get like how they choose teams and everything, whatever. But it's pretty neat.
That's fantastic. Congratulations to your buddies over there. I have been doing a bunch of planning. I have a lot of stuff planned for the month of October between videos and planning for Valhalla, so I have been trying to do that, but I've been sick all weekend, so that kind of set that behind a little bit. But getting there could be awesome.
I'm only slightly jealous that you guys are gonna go to Valhalla.
It's a boring time. Hardly anyone's there. You're not missing anything. No, really, it's amazing.
It's like the most fantastic time you can hope to have as a gamer.
Last year was my favorite vacation of all time, actually. But ooh, another thing that I've done is I may have bought tickets to Thailand.
Oh.
So in this January, I'm going to Thailand with a bunch of buddies, or my roommates and maybe one or two other people. There's going to be like rock climbing over water called deep water soloing. We're going to visit some tribes in the north with like the neck rings with the ladies. So sexy.
Check for Adam's apples, please.
There are rumors about a lot of
They're not rumors.
unsavory. Well, I won't be dealing with them, hopefully.
Wow.
Anyways.
This is in January, and you may have bought a ticket. You only may have.
No, I have.
May have accidentally pressed the OK button.
So, yeah, super excited about that. But basically, my planning has been, after Valhalla, I plan to film as many battle reports as I can, and I'm going to get back, and I'm going to put my butt to work and actually put out some regular battle reports. And then maybe with the regular battle reports, I'll start up maybe a Facebook page or something. I just want to, I want to actually start building my channel more and have some fun. And I recently just topped 6,000 subscribers. So thanks to all you viewers. Thank you so much. That was great. Awesome. Thank you. But I want to get to 10,000, maybe even by the end of the year. And I think it's possible if I just start putting out more battle reports and putting some more effort in my channel, and which I want to do. And it's getting really cold outside. Like, I have to wear a sweatshirt already. I scraped ice off my car so I could drive to work this morning.
Ugh.
Canada, why?
It was like in the 50s this morning when I was coming out. I was like, oh, no, go away, winter. I don't want you.
I will have a nice, it'll be great to come down. Well, yeah, 2 weeks from now, the next Wargamers Hangout, I'll be at your house.
Oh, we're going to have to figure out how to do that. I guess we'll have to share a screen. I don't really want to. I'm going to put you on another computer so we still do this.
I'll be like behind you and you'll just see the side of me.
On the back of your hand.
That'll be more funny that way. Anyway, so again, more videos made there. It seems like a good time to just like buckle down and build the channel. It'll be a lot of fun. I'm excited.
I love your battle reports. Like previously with Mini Wargaming, I always usually just play it and then build stuff while listening to it, and then suddenly, occasionally, just look to the left when you go walking, as always.
Well, I'm sure that there's always lots of 40k players at Valhalla. That was always the majority. Who knows if it's true this year, but probably. So I'll probably be in lots of orcs. I have a bunch of orcs that I still need to build and paint that I bought from like the Codex release. So I'm gonna have to refresh myself on 7th edition and newer Codex and all of that. But yeah, I have like a week and a half to paint a bunch of pigs because I want some pigs ready to play with Miranda, and a bunch of orcs. And I'm gonna try to fit as many as I can. Maybe finish some before the others and mail them down previously, and then have some fun. That's the plan. And so yeah, incoming fantasy 40k and War Machine battle reports.
Cool.
Oh man, I wonder if I should bring my 40k stuff up to Valhalla too.
How many points of those
sisters?
Yeah, sisters.
Without having to like fix stuff, probably about 1,000-ish worth. So I'd have to like fill it out with some imp guard or something. But I have a friend who has full Imperial Guard, so I could definitely pull from that.
Nice.
Question is fitting it all in a car for that 10-hour drive. Plus, like, the clothes we're supposed to be wearing also.
It's a whole week, right?
So.
Mm-hmm.
I heard the food is amazing during those times.
Pretty fantastic.
My favorite part last year was the pig. They're like full on roasted a full pig, like as a pig.
Mm-hmm.
And then you like get to like come up with a knife and fork. You're like, "Hello, Mr. Pig," and then you're just like, and you like dig into its butt, and you're like, delicious rump roast. You just like you just peel off that charred skin and just like, delicious meat right off its butt, and it was delicious. And I was like, I've always wanted to do that, and it happened at Valhalla.
It's true. You eat like a king up there. So.
Oh man.
You eat so much up there, and you never leave that cabin though. So you come back and you're like, okay, I think I need to get back to some kind of exercise regimen. Your body hates you. Except for Dan, he doesn't know. He eats like raw cookie dough and chocolate milk most evenings, apparently.
Oh yeah. Where am I? I forgot about chocolate milk tonight.
Well, I see we're all eating candy. So, yay for the month of Halloween. Having candy corn.
I mean, almonds. Almonds are delicious and scrumptious and hopefully healthy.
Failed.
And I also have all these gummy worms. This is like half of what's left. I ate them in like one day. I'm like, just,
wow.
Whew. I need to really not snack so much. That's why I have the almonds, because if I have stuff in front of me, I want to snack. Eat lots of nuts is fine. You know, maybe a little fatty, but you know, not compared to like this massive sugar like coma that I'm gonna go into.
As you're holding one in your hand, getting ready to put it in your mouth.
How it works. So I don't know. Should I bring my 40K stuff up, or should I bring my Malifaux stuff up to Valhalla? Obviously, in addition to War Machine. I have to pick one. Now, admittedly, everything Malifaux fits in one little case.
Yeah, I'll be bringing my Malifaux stuff.
Yeah, so Miranda could have a rematch.
It's true.
On the massacre.
Oh my goodness, you're damn witchlings.
Okay, so we had a vassal game, and the game went so well in my favor, mostly because Miranda just forgot some of her rules that would have probably killed my master a lot faster. And you know, the game would have been significantly different. But anyways, it turned out that happened, and I got so many points from that game that might carry me into the semifinals of this.
I actually have a chance, Dan.
Yeah, we both have a chance. It's like one of us. Wait, have you played all your games?
I'm gonna play my game on Saturday. So if I beat this guy by 5 points, I mean, if he hits 5, then I can't. So I have to prevent him from hitting 5 while scoring over 5 to actually get the second place.
I was gonna say Mario didn't win all his games.
No, I didn't. Give me 1 second. I have someone in my door. Sorry.
Oh, okay. And leave right when I'm about to be like, I beat him.
Yeah, he realized that he's going to cry in the corner for a while. Just let him emotionally.
There's not actually somebody at the door.
Oh, I love it. Mario leaves the room and we just badmouth him immediately.
I adore him. It's just so fun. It's like having a little brother. I've had 2 little brothers, and I was pretty horrible to them, so I guess that's just me going back to that.
Ishiab011 says, chicken soup, blues, and rest. Get rid of your cold, Miranda.
Thank you, Sammy.
I'm so sorry about that.
I'll be better by the weekend. Now, who's this Andy 2D6 fella? He just keeps ragging on us over here.
No, he's ragging on me.
Ragging on you.
It's okay. We know him.
Welcome to Buttons Are Enough. I'm guessing it's your first live show. Yeah. Awesome. It's always more fun when more people.
Yeah, I didn't win 2 games of my Malifaux games. Ironically, I got beaten to pulp by the 2 people that I dragged into and kind of taught how to play Malifaux. These 2 people that's on the live show right now.
Oh.
It's the one game I lost because I felt like I was lied to. Not intentionally. It was just like a miscommunication when I was like, what are your movement shenanigans that you can have without having to read all your lists? And he was like, well, this and this. I'm like, okay. And all of a sudden his master's like, I'll just teleport 16 inches and blow apart 2 of your dudes and then win initiative and then go again and get away from everybody and have no repercussions. And I'm like, nah! What just happened? I thought you said your movie shenanigans were this and this, not that. And so it just really threw me off. But I barely lost that game.
What was the master?
Sorry?
What was the master?
It was Seamus.
Seamus. That sounds like Richard Williams.
Yep. Richard. He was a cool guy. He was a lot of fun to play against.
He is.
But it was just, Seamus. It was crazy terrain everywhere on the board, and he has an ability called like Back Alley, where
Oh yeah.
if he's not in line of sight to anybody, he can
Just teleports out.
like really far, and if you have the right cards to cheat, and he always got the great cards to cheat. And then I played against, who's the Gremlin player?
From our group, I don't think there's a Gremlin player in our group.
Or maybe Ten Thunderers?
Ten Thunders. That's Alex. I'm playing him on Saturday.
Okay, he's a really good player.
Mhm.
Basically, I just got destroyed, like picked apart by a control. I'm like, all right, let's go kill his master, and I bring him down to like 2 freaking wounds left, and like with fire and everything, I'm like, all right, he's got 2 wounds, he'll be able to heal a little bit, but not that much. And all of a sudden he's like, heal. Oh, because of this rule, he heals double. Oh, severe. Oh, he heals 6, and I'll heal him again. Oh, use that pulse. And I'm like, and he's like, and then I poison her, and I do this, and this, and you have a double negative flip. And I'm like, how am I supposed to kill you now? I can't hit you. I can't do anything. And he's just like, I curse you. And he's getting victory points. So I'm like, I can't do anything. And Sonya's, I'm like trying to light myself on fire so I can blow everything up around me. And I can't even do that because there's a double negative flip on everything, and I can't cheat. It was a very frustrating game. But it was the first time I played against a control caster, so it was bound to happen, right? It was just like the ignorance just destroyed me. But I was like, now I know.
You were on winning high, and then you got humbled, basically.
And then it was just like, but like not a lot of my stuff died. Oh yeah, and then he had like a little trap maker, and he made a trap. And I'm like, all right, I'm avoiding the trap, and I like spread it out a little bit, and all of a sudden he's like, I moved the trap, and I'm like, what? You can move the trap, and it like moves and engages like all my witchlings. I'm like, it was.
That is the beauty of Malifaux, though. You don't need your models to be killed to lose the game, or you don't need models to win the game.
Yeah, so it was, and then it was just like the worst because I was all in. Like, he was just controlling the crap out of me, and then he like moves up, and it was like control like a couple things in the middle, and a few key things happened. Anyways, I got destroyed, but it was a good game. I learned tons, and I need a witchling handler is what I need. Because then I can throw my witchlings faster and make them do more fire damage. And I also learned when my witchlings die and they explode and do damage around, they also cause fire, burning.
Mm-hmm. And if you kill anyone with that, you can also use, the Sonya's ability to get more witchlings.
I know. No, actually, I don't think so, because it causes burning, but you die before the burning is applied. I don't know. Anyways.
Actually, you're right. Yeah, actually, unless it dies from the burning.
Right.
Then it would, yeah.
Right.
Right.
Anyway.
Yeah, those burning tokens are pretty crazy.
Burn you.
That's just my experience in Malifaux so far, still tabletop. Now, you two have been doing the Through the Breach campaign, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, before we talk about that, I want to go around quick round of say what RPG games we have played and how much, like general kind of.
Yeah.
So kind of our history of role-playing games. Miranda, why don't you go first?
All right. I started in with D&D 3.5, which was actually a really frustrating game. I didn't like it at all. And then I went to, I played D&D 3.5. I played 4, which was like World of Warcraft, the role-playing game, essentially. I played Pathfinder. I've played the Iron Kingdoms RPG. And I've played a couple of RPGs that were just like where my friends kind of created them. So I played a few of those, but I always tend to play the warrior tank person, like in my last role-playing game. Well, in my last D&D 4.0 game, I played like this dragonborn chick, and she was pretty awesome. But then I did change tack a little bit when I played Pathfinder. I rolled this gnome druid with an animal companion and Kylosaur, who I was very pleased with. She actually was doing really well. But then my friend actually just moved, who was hosting that, just moved to to Washington, so I'm gonna have to go there if I want to play now.
You should have said like, oh, and then my character died.
Well, my character will live on. He already asked if he could use my character as an NPC in the world, so I said yes.
Nice. That'll be fun. I'll go. My first RPGs was actually with Matt from Mini Wargaming. He always loved that kind of stuff, but he just loved making his own stuff. So we actually played. It was mostly my older brother and my friends. For some reason, I was excluded. I was a really nerdy little kid, really antisocial. Maybe they thought I wouldn't be good.
Oh, so you're Phineas.
Yeah, basically. So
that's what you're doing so well.
Mech Warrior, which is more you die super easily and more modern day guns technology using that to your advantage. Then he invented a game called the Orbs, it was like D&D, but it's his own version. It was a lot of fun. I had good times with that. And then I played with him again and D&D 4th edition. And then that was kind of fun. We went off for a little while, and then I ended up DMing a Pathfinder group for almost a year. So that was a lot of fun too. And recently I've been doing one mission of Through the Breach, which is like a Malifaux spin-off.
Well, my history in RPG started. I've always been interested in it. I was more of a dungeon crawler kind of guy with board games and miniatures, kind of like Hero Quest, Descent, and Super Dungeon Explorer. And then when I got into the WGC, and then since I live quite close to where Chung and Les used to live, they did live shows of D&D, and I was like, hey, I'm interested, let's join. And then I was the rogue for the party. I only did, I think, 2 or 3 different missions. We switched from, I believe it was 4.0, and then we switched to Pathfinder after that, because Chung liked Pathfinder a little bit better. And then after that, Les moved out, so we kind of split apart and stopped playing the D&D, especially during they stopped doing live shows as well. So, and it was kind of far for me to actually go. I know it's not as far as like New Mexico or Canada, but it's like still 40 miles out with 2.5 hour traffic. So it was really difficult for me to go. And then recently, I got into Malifaux, and then that leads me into Through the Breach, the RPG. At first, I didn't want to. They call it Fate Master instead of Dungeon Master or DM, so we call it FM. And recently, I've been playing a lot of board games and any type of games with my wife's group. It's just like 3 girls and 2 guys, and they're not new to board games. Well, some of them are new to board games, but they're super new about RPGs. And basically, with my limited knowledge, I was like, you know what? Might be nice to just try it out. So my test group is actually my wife's group with Malifaux Through the Breach. And instead of rolling dice, we flip cards like in Malifaux. And whatever story that you did yesterday was a modification of what we did the first time for them. And I think it came up pretty good. I could have done a couple of more things more creatively instead of ignoring players' requests like last night.
No, you did fine. You really did fine.
Well, that's because I already tried it with the playtest group. I mean, my wife's group, and they're not as creative as you guys. I told my wife, like, this guy pickpocket the money, and then this guy tried to shoot the crucial NPC. I'm like, oh my god, they're giving me like curveballs left and right.
Yeah.
So it was pretty interesting, and it's my debut as a Fate Master as well. So, and having to do it live, it was really nerve-wracking for me. And if you see the video, I don't know if you guys can add it on the comments later. You can see like whenever I start talking really fast, that's when I get really nervous, and I'm like, oh shoot, I don't know what to do now.
No, DMing is like a thing in of itself. Like it's really hard at the beginning, and then you kind of just fall into the groove of it, where you just kind of like trust your instincts.
Yeah. Yeah, like as soon as we finish the game, and then we also have like a post hangout afterwards, and then I was just talking with you guys about stuff, and then Jay actually messaged me and Nestor messaged me this morning about things that I could have done differently, instead of ignoring Chung from wanting to shoot the crucial NPC. Could have done something like as soon as the bullet almost hits the girl, force field could have happened, and she could have just said, "Don't ever do that to me again," or things like that, Or when you pickpocket the money, your hands actually, no matter what, your hand's gonna get slapped, and she also says like, "Don't ever do that again."
No way, I'm too good at the pickpocket. No, it was a hard flip too.
I gave you a pretty it wasn't impossible, but it was pretty hard.
You get basically, I needed a 13 on a straight flip, and I used my owl to distract, so I needed a jack or I needed 11.
So because you distracted.
I flipped the 11.
Yeah, you flipped exactly what you needed.
Oh, no. Those are always fun. I love it when you end up, if you can tell the story in such a way, and then the die roll or the card flip in this case kind of coincides with that, and you're like, well, I guess that did go through.
Yeah.
Or on the flip side, when you fumble, is there fumbling in Through the Breach?
There is a critical miss as well. Like the Black Joker is a critical miss. But as a first-time Fate Master or DM, I'm not that creative yet in creating the flourish part of it. Like he could have stumbled onto a rock and rolled over or something. I'm not that good with that yet, but I'm planning to change that slowly. Like another crucial character that was supposed to be their guide walking around, but in the beginning part he actually hired some goons to jump on him, and as he was hiding in a corner, Jay's character, he's like a Russian circus boy that knows how to shoot really well, used his gun and shot him in the leg. So instead of guiding him around, he has to tag out with that girl that got pickpocketed to take them around.
Oh, wow.
That wasn't part of the plan at all.
I'm debating modifying my little... Okay, so I have the character I play is a Tinkerer. And it's really fun because, like, my character is actually really good at martial arts and close combat. Like, really good. But he never shows it, really, except in, like, dire circumstances. And he, like, has this little mechanical owl, like, yay big, calls her Meeps. And she has like this mechanical voice, and I type rude and funny things.
You should totally watch it because he actually uses, like a knockoff version of Siri voice.
I had fun with it. It was good times. Sometimes it's a little hard to hear over Google Hangouts, but made it work. But anyway, so I just send like the owl in to distract and hurt things, and just be annoying. And then when I need to, I'm just like with my knuckle dusters. But it was just, I don't know, it'll be fun, and I'll be like slowly create this like bigger creation. Maybe Meeps, my little owl, just slowly become this big abominable thing with these big pneumatic arms and just like smash things. We'll see how it goes. Or maybe Meeps will just get destroyed because it's only got like 2 wounds. So like minimum damage of a lot of things will just kill it in one shot. And she's got low defense too, so maybe that will put me into a rage, and then I'll show everyone what I can do in combat. I don't know. We'll see. I'm just kind of like, how it happens. I love role playing because you can just kind of like put yourself in this funny little situation and see what you can do with it. You can be very inventive.
You can.
I hate dungeon crawling. I used to like a little bit, but like go around and flip cards or roll dice and kill monsters and next monster and keep going and try to be like the most effective you can at how much damage you can deal and all that kind of stuff. It's like it just gets boring so fast.
Yeah, usually the group falls apart.
Yeah. And it's just the loot grind, the XP grind. Well, you have like
play a video game, right?
and then you have your fight, and that's like the rest of your night.
The one thing that's unique about our campaign is that, I mean, it is a WGC's group project. Apparently, I'm the only one that initiates group project most of the time. So this is a second group project for me. And basically, I got to talking with Chung, and we managed to make this whole campaign as an open world where every single character, or I guess the producers and staffs of WGC have a character, they're all private investigators. So Les actually put it pretty nicely yesterday. He's like, have you seen Scooby-Doo? That's what they do. This is like, they oh, that theme park is haunted. Let's go investigate. And then they recruit, the whatever people they want, and then go investigate. So it's an open world in the sense where you're all working for the same private investigative company called the Consortium, obviously. And each and every single one of you guys are an agent, and any person can be a DM, and then they post up their story, and then any of the characters can join in, like, hey, I wanna be involved in this story. I wanna be involved in this story. So, if you don't have time or anything, you can always just pass out on not playing until 3 months down the road or something.
So when Mario's talking, he's talking to me about that, because I'm not
yes.
his character. And he's going to get to it.
I'm creating a character for Chrissy and Matt from A Weird Place in about 2 weeks. So I might come back to you on that.
Okay. We'll see where I am.
If you have a character, I won't bug you anymore, right?
Yeah, and then you'll be like, when are you joining the next campaign? I'll be like,
no, I won't. I'm just going to be posting, all right, this is the story for today. Anyone want to join?
Well, but I don't even know what character I want to make until I know when I want to play. I mean, because, Dan, you're like a tinkerer, but, I mean, what's less? What are some of the other classes we have going on?
So, okay, Tinkerer, there's 2 different ways of playing, and there's 2 Tinkerers in the group so far. Jeff, Engineer Jeff, he is a Tinkerer, but he's a healer, while Dan is a construct maker. And then me and Les are scrappers. We're like the melee specialists, because towards the end of the 10th level, our skill, it's melee expert, so we get to attack 3 times. It's like in Malifaux, you got 3 APs. But he is totally just melee, while I'm balancing out pistols and a sword.
Okay.
And then we have wastrels, which is basically a son or daughter of a rich person. So all they do is just gamble, drink, and have fun. Nestor is playing that, and he is also balanced with a knife and a sword and a gun. And then we have Michelle and David. They're both drudges. They have mechanical arms, and they both do pugilism and martial arts. So they're basically the heavy lifters.
Yeah.
Chung is playing a gunfighter, so he has. Right now, he doesn't have his dual pistols yet, but he wants to be completely shooty.
Yeah.
And Jay is a mercenary. It sounds weird, but mercenary is basically snipers. But as his backstory, as he revealed it, he has like a Batman and Robin-esque backstory where he was part of a Russian circus. So the whole entire time he was talking in Russian or Russian accent.
Oh.
And he's part of the Flying Markovs, and his parents were killed and stuff like that. You
Wow,
can see
that's fantastic.
Yeah. So.
It was fun.
And Matt is going to be creating a dabbler, which is the mage, more like the DPS mage guy.
Dude, I'm excited to experiment with these mechanical arms. I want to tune them up and add bits to them.
Yeah, because you have a lot of money now since you pickpocket the rent money.
I only get a small percentage of that.
I had to backpedal before he freaking.
You jipped me. You did me good.
Wow.
Well, to be honest, if I did have all that money, I would have been like, giant thing. It would have been terribly stupid and killing our own guys. I would have had fun with it. I'm just saying, I would have made it good. But okay, I'll be balanced.
Obviously, the only advantage of people who's playing more is basically they're a little bit higher level than whoever hasn't played. That's the only advantage. But anytime that a story is posted up, I heard that Nestor is actually writing up a story, and Chung is also writing up a story. And Jay is also interested in being an FM. So we have 4 people writing stories. And then anytime that they create an event, because I create a character as well. Because, I want to play. I don't want to be just the guy who's getting murdered every single time.
I guess Miranda can do a Russian accent too.
Oh yeah, that's what Chad is saying.
What? I played a Kidron sniper in the Iron Kingdoms game. She still had to be a mercenary because of how the campaign was rolling. So I just had it where she was a Widowmaker, and she lost half her unit out on the field one day during a battle and ran for it because my Widowmakers pretty much never make their command checks. So she was considered treasonous of Kador, so she's trying to get back in their good graces. But we never ended up finishing the campaign.
Did she talk like this when she killed people?
You sound so fake.
Because I am fake. I am a white boy. I look a little Jewish, but I am not Russian.
Oh, that wasn't too bad.
If you watch the video, Jay is doing really great at it.
That's pretty good.
I'm gonna have to check that out. It'll probably be keeping me company while I assemble more towers tonight.
I thought about doing an accent, but the problem is whenever I try to do an accent, I like roam with my accents. I'll be like doing one accent, and all of a sudden it'll like merge into another accent, and people are like, "Wait, did you just switch accents?" I'm like, "What?" And I'll like switch back, or I'll go to something completely different. But not really trying to; it just happens.
I tried to do it, but then I realized I have to do several different NPCs at once. I'm like, you know what, guys? Just imagine I'm doing it on an accent. I'm tired.
Aww. No fun.
It was hard. I had to play 3 or 4 characters.
Yeah.
Come on, you're Asian. You have like immense amounts of mental strength or something. I don't know.
I don't even think in Indonesian anymore. That's how long I've been out here.
So Americanized. California, no less.
Oh, California.
Let's see here. Two buttons are enough says role-playing games actually got me into wargaming around 1995 because I stumbled into a GW looking for monster and hero minis for my group. And that was a pretty good reason for me too. I loved looking at the wall of Reaper in the game store. Like, oh, I have so many of these that like are still just not painted. They're just like random minis all over the place. Kind of messy around here.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, definitely RPG'd probably before I did wargaming too, actually.
Actually, the first game that got me into anything was just Hero Quest. It just stuck on me really well. Yeah, because I was like probably like 12 or 13. And mind you that the game, everything was in English, and I was in Indonesia, and one of my friend was actually the DM for that game. And as 12, 13-year-olds growing up in Indonesia, he was actually creating the story in English, and we were talking in whatever broken English that we have, or with very heavy Indonesian accent. We were playing the game in English.
Yeah.
I think the reason why my parents got me that was because, I mean, they didn't know that we would be playing it in English, but he would expect me to read the rule book in English. So it was just for me to practice my English. They already had a plan to move me to California since I was born.
Oh.
Everything was just a stepping stone, moving to Australia, moving to Texas, moving to here. It was all a preparation, to get ready for LA.
So funny you mentioned Hero Quest because I have a really good friend who just like is in love with that game.
Mm-hmm.
I actually started dating his sister. That's how we kind of met. And then turns out he was like really into it, and we kind of started playing it just for fun. And then I started coming over just playing myself. I play all 4 characters. And everyone takes the magic ring. You can take an extra spell, and I always take a damage spell. And they're like, no, you take the healing spell. And I'm like, no way, man. No way. And one time, I had the elf cast whatever, like, Stonewalk. My wizard, like, walked through into a room by himself, which I knew was jam-packed with monsters. I just had, like, an inkling. By himself. And he was just like, just started crazy spells. And then the rest of my group ran in the front door, and he was like, wow, I've never seen anyone ever attempt anything like that. That was pretty effective. I was like, awesome, it was great. Oh, I had a lot of fun with Hero Quest.
Hero Quest is good.
He actually hosts a website still, called Ye Old Inn, like OLDE, like yeoldinn.com, and like you can like get hero quests in all these different languages, and there's like forums and
I
stuff.
think I went to that site before searching for stuff.
So like he's been up maintaining it for a long time now. So yeah, you can check that out.
And it was actually a Milton Brothers and Games Workshop game.
Mhm.
You're such nerds.
It's okay, now I'm not the only nerd in the house. My wife is a nerd too now. we were playing like King of Tokyo, just the two of us, the other like probably a couple of months back. And then she beat me like, I don't know if you played King of Tokyo before. I was 2 points away from winning, and I was in Tokyo. So if it gets to my turn, I get 2 points on the start. So I would have won the game automatically. And I had like 3 life health left, and then she rolled 3 hit die. She stood up, yelled, and go, "Got you, bitch!" If you ever met my wife, you're gonna think like, oh, she's super timid, and she's like, oh, hi, and you got her into a board game table, completely opposite.
That's what I love about it. It's like it's so nerdy that you just can't help but be yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah, she's extremely competitive, and through the Breach and the Malifaux RPG, her character is a like complete melee beatstick. Like she has a 2-handed heavy rail hammer. And then Dan, yesterday in that section where you guys got jumped by the 5 goons. I just told them like, they pull out the weapons, and then instead of asking what's going on or whatever, she just went, "I want to charge." I'm like, okay, you're not gonna ask anything? Oh, okay, I guess you're gonna charge, yeah.
You don't talk to goons. You smash your heads in.
It was really
I
interesting.
understand. No, I know what you're talking about. I always love playing the super melee dudes in RPGs because, like, so I'm not, like, very buff. Like, I'm pretty wimpy, like, as far as upper body strength and stuff goes. And so I love playing the characters that just, like, punch someone through a wall or, like, could just cut someone in half.
The thing is, you guys been playing RPGs for a while, so you're actually playing a character. The problem with newbie RPG players, they're actually playing themselves as the character.
Yeah,
That's fine. That's fine.
I gotta sleep next to her the same night.
See, I'm the opposite, Miranda. I'm so buff in real life that I like playing the wimpy characters in the RPG.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did DM a one-shot D&D once. It was I did a Halloween edition because I super fell in love with all of the monster guides, like the Open Grave and all the crazy ones. So I made this whole like kind of Resident Evil / Silent Hill like approach to this one-shot game. It was pretty fantastic. I got all in costume. I had my like D&D cloak. My friends showed up and they were like, "Really?" Yes. This is how you will be spending all evening with me? Did all the accents. At one point I even sang for it. It was very crazy. I got way too into it. I spent like 3 months preparing for the
Wow. That is some dedication right there.
I was so excited. I wanted to do this whole story. Like, there's this little girl and she was a ghost and you were trying to like solve the mystery of her death, and it was awesome.
At work, I found a hidden geek. So I found out that this guy he used to play Dungeons and Dragons, and he's looking into game nights with his wife. And I told him like, oh, I usually play board games usually every weekend, but these 2 months are going to be a little bit busy. But I'm going to tell you when we're going to play whatever. And I was like, oh, what kind of game do you play? Like, oh, sometimes something like RPG, like D&D kind of thing, but more like a different game. But it is a similar system, or sometimes we play like board games, but not your regular household board games like Monopoly or Risk. And he's like, when you play the RPG, do you guys dress up and stuff? I'm like, oh, no, we're normal.
Whoa. You guys don't dress up?
Not yet. I don't want to scare my group,
You just come in with like this big like hood on and like the robe, and you're just like,
Candles lit.
And you have a red dye and a blue dye.
prepare to die.
But ever since I did because I did 2 stories with my wife's group already, and then Dungeons and Dragons 5 is out, the newest one, and I was looking at it and I'm like, man, I want to buy this. I want to play the player's handbook. Maybe they'll do better not better, but maybe they'll enjoy the fantasy genre better than the steampunk genre.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know. I was in a DMing mood, I guess, recently.
It's a good mood to be in.
Yeah, I heard finding a DM is like finding unicorn.
I'm finding a good DM.
Okay.
Oh, I totally forgot about this comment that was like way back. Okay, 2 buttons are enough. She asked about. So she sent me this model, and I found it. It's like this orc war boss with a beard. And I was like, yes! And I was so excited about it. I still am excited about it. I keep it right there as a reminder of how awesome people are, especially people who watch my videos. So thank you so much for this. And I'm glad you brought it back up because people are awesome. And it's just a wonder. Look at his beard. It's amazing. It's all super focus. It's never gonna focus. But anyways,
before. It's really cool.
He's got a pirate hat and a beard. It's like the perfect war boss. And remember, it came packaged in second edition grots. So like the crappy little grots that no one has any use for. They were like peanuts, and there were just a bunch of them packed in around it. So it was hilarious. I was like, "What's going on? Like, what are all these?" And then nice model, beautifully painted. If I remember, your name is Tina or something along those lines. Anyways, thank you so much for the model again. So yes. So that's the response to that comment. Go back onto this shelf of awesomeness. Okay. Where were we?
More or less talking about Through the Breach.
Mm-hmm.
No, more or less on how do we get Marana to create a character.
Oh my goodness, I'll create a character when I'm ready to play, but if I make a character and I'm like, oh, I want to be like,
Now, well,
but then later I want to be something else.
The question came up. Oh no, actually, okay, that's a good question. In Malifaux RPG and Through the Breach, actually you are not stuck in the same class. You can choose any class that you want before a story begins, and you will gain a level in that class, and you retain it.
So you can be a jack of all trades. You can just be like crappy at everything.
Yeah, there's bonuses, obviously.
That sounds like multi-classing.
There's bonuses if you stick to the same level all the way to step 10. But, your excuse is moot.
Wow.
Her name was Tia, not Tina. I was close, though, considering I haven't really thought about that letter for, like, months. Like, 2 years, basically. I'm proud of myself. Thanks, Tia. All right. So, multi-classing.
But the reason why to come up that, suggesting that you do create a character is because last night, Chrissy was like, oh, I wish I've had a character, and I could have joined you guys or whatever, or you guys made it so fun that I wanted to play, and I'm like, I told you to create a character. You're like, keep saying you don't have time, and then suddenly you have time, you don't have a character. So, just throwing it out there. Woo!
Just saying. Okay. Well, you said there's a couple weeks, so let me see what I can get done in that time first. Because character creation, I don't know if it's
the most boring part of the game.
Well, yeah, but I mean, whenever I would make one for like D&D, it's like at least a 3-hour process of like.
It's about 2 hours, yeah.
My spell is gonna be. Yeah.
It's pretty simple. There's not a lot of options in Through the Breach. It's kind of like you pick your class and it's kind of narrow at first, so it's a little easier.
And then you flip cards in the beginning to determine your status or your physical and mental aspects and stuff. Kind of like rolling the d20.
Right.
And then
I guess you just.
One interesting thing about Through the Breach is as you flip those cards, they treat it as like a tarot card, and each one of them is tied to a certain destiny. And those destinies, basically, you're gonna write it up, and you actually create a short story from those destinies. And the Fate Master can actually intertwine your destiny. So basically, if I create a story that fulfills one of your destiny out of the 5, you gain better level ups. And as soon as you hit your 5th destiny, basically you complete the character. You found your destiny, and basically that character can retire. That's that's one of the strong point of Malifaux that I like. I mean, I didn't really play D&D before. It might have had that system, but basically it helps the Fate Master to create stories.
Yeah. Well, are there a number of just set levels, like level 1, 2, 3 in Malifaux, or is it kept track of differently?
What do you mean by different levels?
Like, it's weird.
Well,
Like, when you don't really level up, you just get more. I mean, you level up your pursuit, which is like your class.
Yeah.
So basically, every you get a level
story,
up
every
automatically.
story, yeah, every story
you get a level up.
You got 1 experience point. So.
And you get 1 experience point. You have to save up your experience points if you're going to upgrade your skills, because you need like certain amount of. If you have like a rating of 3, you need 3 experience points to upgrade that skill.
Mm.
And if the story is split into 2 halves, if you have a big break in the middle, like say you play it this week and the next week is the second half, that means you would level up twice.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like it doesn't matter how many times you kill an NPC. At the end, you're always getting the same. As long as, obviously, you don't permanently die.
Right.
So I think it's kind of neat because you can just like not focusing on like killing as much stuff as possible. You can just like you just get through the story, and when you complete the story, you get the experience, kind of thing. So I think that's kind of neat.
We got some fun stuff happening in the chat. I
Yeah.
started back in a second with Thaco. Man, that was the thing that always drove me nuts in D&D and Pathfinder too, because for obvious reasons, like the whole armor class, like being a wiry dexterity person gave you like a higher armor class than someone in big meaty armor, and if you get hit, it's the same damage. Like that always drove me crazy. I really liked the setup for Iron Kingdoms comparatively. Like, oh, you get hit, and because you're armored, you actually only get hurt this much versus this much. Like, AC drove me insane.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Ooh, here, I brought up my character sheet. Okay, so this is an example of a destiny that you can get. They're all weird. Okay, so my guy, my Phineas Murdoch, my little nerdy artifacting man with except.
Are you supposed to be screen sharing or?
No, I'm just gonna read it.
Okay. Sorry, because I don't remember what your destiny is, but I do have the Excel sheet open up.
If you know the dimming of the lanterns, your journey will never begin, and time waits for no man but you. All of the screams will lead you home, and you will forget yourself.
Yeah, so it's split into 5 different segments out of that whole sentence.
And so as the FMs design stories that kind of coincide with the little phrases, you fulfill your destiny.
Yep, you fulfill parts of your destiny, but it could be in a span of 10 different stories that you're in.
Right.
Like since, like for example, like you and Jay already had like a really good backstory. That's that could be a good start for me. Like for example, Jay's the flying Markov. The reason why his parents die or anything could be a start of a particular campaign, like a 2-part story or something, and then it will fulfill like some of his destiny because it's based off of him.
Right. Well, here, let's check some of these comments because we're kind of getting close to time.
People are reminiscing about how long they've been wargaming.
Wargaming or role-playing game. Role-playing game.
I guess I've been wargaming for 8 years? It seems long, but then like people are putting 21 and 18.
I know. Yeah, mine probably most of my adult life. Like whenever I moved out, oddly enough, because I had an older brother and he would play these games, but he would never include me, the big jerk. So I didn't get to play until much later. So.
Probably because he didn't include you, you develop the I couldn't get it, now I want it kind of thing.
I don't think it was that like planned. I think it was just stop trying to hang out with my friends, Miranda.
Then you develop the wargaming complex.
Stomp all the noobs.
Table flip.
Me, why don't you? Die, die, die. This explains so much more about you, Miranda. Man.
The circle is almost complete. I started wargaming probably in '96, stopped in '99 because I had to move from Australia to Texas, and I didn't have any of my miniatures. And then met girls, and then came back probably around 2007, and then stopped again, and then came back again probably 2012.
Yeah. So you were kind of in and out of it.
Yeah. You know, puberty, late puberty.
Girls. They were in everything.
Yeah.
They really do. Sometimes.
Wow. Shut up.
Don't worry, Miranda. I'm sure you'll ruin my vacation for me.
Whatever. It's gonna be the best vacation you ever had. Mostly because you'll be going to Valhalla again. But we will also be getting in games. I will show you why New Mexico is better than Canada.
You laugh because you know it's nowhere near true.
I laugh because I see like huge chasms of like yes and no. But
I guess that's true. Goes both ways. I do like cheap U.S. food.
what somebody said, I was part of a 60-person group. It was a LARP, not a tabletop. I've always wanted to LARP.
I know, right?
It looks amazing.
I've never truly LARPed. I've done like the fighting, like with like swords and shields and stuff, and just like as a game kind of thing, as like a physical exercise. And but there's never really been any like LARPing besides like silly battle cries beforehand, like quoting like chivalry, like for Agatha. You run in and just, you know. But it's a whole lot of fun actually learning how to sword fight, and I don't think I know how to sword fight at all, but you know, because they're like, you know, pool noodles. I mean, they're like PVC piping in pool noodles, so there's some weight to them, but they still wobble, and so there's only so much you can do.
Right.
There is this place in LA, not in the city, but out in the suburbs, that they have a paintball field, and then on certain days it's converted into a LARPing field. I gotta look for it, but it would be interesting to see what my wife would do in that kind of situation.
Sometimes you just gotta let go. You just gotta let go of all kind of.
The thing is, do I really want to find that out?
You want to find out about your wife?
Yeah. Do I really want to find that out?
Yes.
Yeah. Who doesn't want to role play with their wife?
It might not be role play, and she would be just like releasing her anger, built up anger.
Just be on the same team.
Just think about it this way: it's catharsis. She gets it out early. She doesn't take it out on you later. Just feed the beast.
Better smack me in the face with a fake hammer than stab me when I'm in bed, right?
Exactly. Otherwise, it just all gets pent up, and then you're on the news years down the road.
That is very true. You need an outlet for everything. And maybe LARPing's the answer.
I don't know. Maybe it's fun. I mean, it's a different level. There's all these levels of nerddom, right? And like wargaming's pretty up there. Like it's beyond like certainly beyond video gamers, but then like beyond RPG too. There's wargaming, but then like LARPing, that's like way up there.
Yeah, because video games used to be somewhere up there. and now it's like the standard. Like everyone in high school, if you don't play video games, you're guy or girl, you're part of the like non-regular crew. And then board game is going closer to that because of all the popularity that has been going on right now. And then wargaming is on top of that.
So yeah, wargaming. Where are you putting wargaming after video games?
No, after board games.
Oh, after board games.
Yeah.
Yeah, board games are really
It's getting more common now.
Yeah, and even with wargaming, war games getting more common slightly. Like, there's just too much required for entry. The model buying, the just learning the rules, where so many, say, video games, you pick up and your controller and you're like, look, I'm playing Call of Duty, aren't I cool? Huh? And then the rest of us old school gamers are like, man, played Zelda, whatever. And then you have, those rivalries.
So is there a level nerdier than LARPing? Or is that the peak?
That is a good question.
I think there might be levels of LARPing too, because there's like the historical reenactment group, which is
yeah.
And then you have like, I'm a character from the movie Avatar, and you're like, okay. So.
Even worse, I've heard about My Little Pony LARPing or RPG games.
Ooh, well, there is that whole other level of LARPing that I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know if that's nerdy so much as creepy.
Yes.
My apologies to anyone in chat who might do
brony
this.
friends. I have brony friends.
I have brony.
But are they like full-on bronies though, or are they just kind of like them on the side kind of thing, like I like peanut butter?
One of them isn't like a full brony. The other one is a full brony with his significant other.
Like he's got like My Little Pony like merchandise in his bedroom.
His significant other paints My Little Pony pictures only, paints with like actual canvas and stuff, and he wears My Little Pony shirts. And I don't think this is a My Little Pony thing, but he takes pictures with this little thing. I forgot what he calls it. It looks like a tiny pig, but that could have followed into that as well.
Huh.
I mean, he's a great guy. I cannot judge his brony attitude.
Yeah.
I mean, he's still a good friend.
Complain about it because it's not like the whole message of the show is like, be a racist jerk. It's
no.
intolerance. It's like, well, I mean, however you get there, I guess.
Yeah, but we're talking about the different levels of nerdiness.
Yeah.
Like my wife wouldn't go onto wargaming because it's exactly the same as board gaming. You just pull the board aside, because she would play Super Dungeon Explorer and everything else that has miniatures on it, except when there's no board and you have to measure with measuring tape. She's like, no, that's where I draw the line. And then now she jumps over onto the RPG level. Because for me, I think it's video games and then board games and then war game and then RPG and then LARPing.
No, I would say RPGs, then war games, then LARPing. Level of entry. Just more people play RPGs than play.
Yeah, the level of entry is cheaper. Yeah, I can understand that.
There, Nick said full armor historical combat is the top level.
Yeah, I bet that's true because you are bringing so much knowledge of what you know from that historical time, and you can explain everything on there like you're there. That's probably true.
There's a group in Calgary that I was invited to. The guy used to do like he plays some War Machine, and he sold some mercenaries to me for really cheap actually. But he was like, yeah, I just don't have time because I do this now. And he was showing me pictures, and I joined their Facebook group. I would be like, maybe I'll just go out one time. But like the more I see, the more like intense they are. Of like, we're talking about like different squires and knights, and like I think they have a king and queen, like. And when they fight, they have like the whole like tabard and all full armor with like the stuff and different colors, and sure they all have their meanings, and it's intense. And I was like, oof, I don't know.
We have that out here. It's the Society for Creative Anachronism, and the New Mexico area that is called, I think, Outlands. So I see those guys every year, and I'm like, one of these days, I'm going to join the SCA. I have time. But they do the combat thing they do, and they do fight in the park, but they're not quite as more accurately to history armored. They're more like foam sword kind of thing.
Lately, I've been hearing the medieval combat is becoming more and more popular as a sport.
A sport?
Yeah, as a, like, you know, people actually go in and as a fitness thing, not like, you know, just only for LARPing or whatever.
Right.
And I don't know if it's going to be like an Olympic event like fencing or something like that, but they're having tournaments and stuff now.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, like a team battle, you know, and then they also have jousting and stuff like that. They have a couple of documentaries in the History Channel, and I watch a couple of them. It's getting pretty interesting how a lot of things that you wouldn't consider as, I guess, the level of normal or the level of, you know, staying in cool if you're in high school has changed like dramatically.
Yeah.
It's a society. We're just introduced to so many things in the information age. We just have so much at our fingertips. You just join wherever you want, and everyone's interconnected so well that you can find other people like you instead of just trying to fit in with your locals.
I can't imagine the society 20 years from now where, you know, board game is getting more popular, where, you know, Monopoly is not the most common anymore, and you start getting to know, like, you know, like Settlers of Catan is getting super popular right now.
Oh, yeah, no, that game's exploded.
Yeah, and I don't know, maybe 20 years later in the future, technology also is getting a little bit better.
Well, I think part of what brings board games to such a, I don't know, kind of the forefront of popularity right now is how hard it is to stay social, like interact with people at proximity. Because it's so easy to just do everything through a computer, or you talk to people with your phone on texting or on Facebook or whatever. So like a board game is still an excuse for people to have like a family night or have friends come over, and you still like interact. And that's probably, I think that's a big part of it, because I've asked a lot of people since I've noticed, like when I follow Kickstarter and stuff, board games are huge, and a lot of the reason is just people want to play with their friends.
Yeah, the only social interaction I have is, other than work and at home, is the gaming group that comes over once in a, like at least twice a month, and then I spend time with you guys on Google Hangouts or talking to someone online. And even before we met, like, you know, I started off as just watching Dan on Mini Wargaming, and meeting him at Adepticon, it was like, hey dude, what's up? It's just like, all right, you're just another guy that I know next door, but he's actually not next door.
Yeah.
Meeting you, Miranda, was a different story though, because you always had that persona of like.
Yeah.
And the guys.
Everybody.
Yeah, the guys aren't helping either. They were hyping it up. It's like, oh yeah, she's really like this. She's like, and then when I met you, I'm like, no, she's not like that at all. Like, you guys are jackasses.
That's hilarious. You know what? I never thought Miranda was like that. I saw right through you, Miranda.
Did you?
Mm-hmm. Day one.
Well, I'm just not actually be like that when you're around.
Then the real Miranda comes out. And we're like, ah! If I don't come back in 2 weeks, you'll know that Miranda has decapitated me.
Buried somewhere out in Utah.
Next time we meet again, if it's at Adepticon, I think Nestor wanted to go to Adepticon as well. You should try to intimidate him. I think I remember him saying like he's scared of you.
What?
I should totally pass the torch along.
All right, well, I've got to get rolling, guys. I have a game in 15 minutes, my last Malifaux game.
Good luck.
Did you make your list?
Huh?
Did you make your list?
No.
Well, good luck.
I was sitting here talking to you guys.
I know. You said you were going to maybe make it while you were talking. So just...
Yeah, and then I didn't because I was talking to you guys.
Okay,
so.
okay.
If you're playing against Molly, do not take assassinate. Do not try to kill Molly. Ignore
I
her.
don't think that's an option.
Don't listen to Mario. Don't listen to Mario. You kill Molly. You do what you want.
I already got my assassinate on Jacob Lynch 2 weeks ago, or yeah, something like that. Pretty fast.
Which is also pretty hard to do.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. There you go. All right. Well, thanks for tuning in again, guys. Been lots of fun as always. Special thanks to our guest Mario.
Thank you for having me. That was honor would be like a little too much, but
no,
it was great. It was great.
I was going to talk about some other fun, nerdy things we do.
Yep.
And so we'll catch you in 2 weeks, where I will be in New Mexico, and we'll figure something out down there.
Thank you, Chad. I hope I do win. We'll see how I do tonight.
All right, guys. Peace out. Get me away.